Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of EchoCraft. You might have figured this out already, but we are in the shopping district. It's changed a lot since the last time we've been here. A lot of new shops have sprung up, and people have been making an effort to make this place look super nice, and I'm a fan. It's looking more alive every day. One of the things we need to take care of, though, is making sure that our shop is all stocked up and checking profits. For some strange reason, I have not actually been selling all that many sea lanterns recently. They've more or less just been in stock without profits for quite a while, actually. But it looks like I've sold some prismarine bricks, and I sold a surprising amount of dark prismarine. So in total, I've made 13 diamonds today. I'm super happy that I have 35 diamonds now because I have been saving up for something. So I'm going to be spending 32 diamonds right now on a single thing, but it's so going to be worth it. What I'm spending it on is DC's gold farm. So it says, "Welcome to DcDeckard's beautiful gold farm of awesomeness, season pass purchase station. For only 32 diamonds, you can use this beautiful machine and keep all the stuff that drops from it. This is totally worth 32 diamonds to me." At some point, I'm going to have to ask DC to give me an official tour of his gold farm and make sure that I'm using it properly. And we have a third reason for being in the shopping district, and that is that I want to build another shop, and I'm trying to figure out where I want to put it. It might be kind of nice right here. Yes, I think building right here is probably going to be the way to go. At this point, I've haphazardly marked out the area. I don't know how much space I'll need, so I just plopped down a whole bunch of wood just to mark a general area. If I don't end up using all of this space, I can always just free it up for other people to build on. Look at how much greener it is around here now. I spent many hours yesterday trying to get rid of mycelium and flooding and all of that, and it's looking so much better. Ooh! What's going on here? What the heck? Why would somebody put wool here? And some wood. Is this a secret store, or is somebody reserving a spot? This was definitely not here yesterday, so I don't know what's going on. I'm confused. What I want to do next here is get rid of all the pillars that I just placed here randomly to mark my spot, and instead replace them with a proper store outline. And I'm going to be winging this because my iron farm in the last episode was pretty much 100% pre-planned. I'm tired of working on pre-planned things and I want to just be creative, so I'm winging this store and just seeing what happens. I have a rough idea of what I want, but we'll see if it goes there. So color-wise, I've been building with a whole bunch of prismarine brick and cyan stained glass and just cyan everywhere, essentially. And for this build, I'm going to try to steer away from all of that and do something different. So instead, I think I'm going to try to take some inspiration from this path and the color scheme that's going on here, which I think feels organic-y. So there's a lot of browns going on and some end stone. I don't know if I'll bring cobblestone into the mix or regular stone, but for the most part, yeah. Wood and end stone sounds like an awesome idea right now. Color scheme-wise, I'm thinking end stone with dark oak and regular oak might look pretty decent. So I'm just going to see where this goes. I'm just going to try something and see how well it turns out. Winging it in the name of creativity and having fun. At this point, I've made some progress on the building outline. So let me take off and show you. Yeah, so you can see the building outline. It looks a bit bulky. I was going for maybe not the tiniest house there is. I definitely need to add a whole bunch of detail. This is just a rough outline. And next, I think I'm going to try to build the roof and see how that works out. This is my very first time building a roof like this, and my confidence is not particularly high. At the moment, I'm just telling myself to trust the process and trust the tutorials I saw. Even though I'm using this roof pattern on a very irregular shaped building, I'm just telling myself, hey, if I just follow the basic pattern, maybe it'll still work out. And I don't know if it will. I've never built a fancy roof like this before, and I've definitely never tried to build it on top of a very irregular shaped building that's not a, clean rectangle. We'll see how well this works out. I've already had to sort of cheat and fudge around a little bit in some areas because of, like, if you look at this corner, I might still have to figure out something else to do with this corner. It just maybe looks weird, or maybe it's hidden well enough by the tree that it doesn't matter. I'm just having repeated crises and just telling myself, trust the process, trust the pattern, and eventually it'll come together okay. Maybe that'll actually happen, or maybe I'll end up tearing down this entire thing. But for right now, I'm going with the process, and I'm taking it as a huge experiment and learning experience. I think I'm done with the roof. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out, given that this is my first time ever building a roof like this, and I decided to just switch instantly to expert mode. Well, I don't know if it was all the way to expert mode, but it's definitely hard mode since I've built this roof on top of a building that's not rectangular. I also added some little details like adding a little bit of a roof down here. I might have to do more of that in other places as I add some more details to this building. Because right now, why? Okay, taking off. Right now the oak wood underneath looks a bit too busy to me. So I'm debating if I have to replace the walls with something that has a bit less texture to it and is a bit more flat, so this building doesn't look quite as busy. I'm happy with how this building is coming together so far. It's a lot better than I thought it would be. And if you're wondering how I learned how to build roofs, I'm going to link to a tutorial by Wells Night Gaming. It's one of his 15-minute builds videos. Cairo swung by. Whoa, he's swimming underneath a tree. Hi, Cairo. Cairo is a new member on the server, by the way, and I think that's what you call karma. Bye-bye. Bye, Cairo. I have made a bit more progress on the store, so I've mostly focused on the inside, just trying to make it feel a bit more homey. I want it to have a vibe that makes you actually want to hang out in this space. Obviously, I haven't done anything as far as detailed decorations or anything like that, like this torch spam needs to go. The basic general structure of the inside feels like it's about right. It's not perfect yet, but it's getting there. So at this point, I think what I need to focus on next is trying to make this building fit into its environment. Right now, it just looks like somebody took a box and plonked it on top of a hill. So I have some work to do to make this building fit into its environment a lot better. And I also want to make sure that when you're shopping at Lucid's glass shop, it doesn't look like a gigantic ugly wall over here. I also need to work on some paths, so when you're coming in around here, you should be able to just wander over here pretty easily. I've spent several hours working on landscaping, and it's looking a lot better. And I fixed some of the lighting too, so most of the building is illuminated all around. Back entrance has the beginnings of a path. It doesn't lead anywhere because nothing exists back here yet. I'm trying to help people figure out how to connect my shop up to whatever path they build in the future. In here, nothing has changed. Other than that, there's a couple flowers right here, but technically I guess that's outside. And then when you come around the corner here, there's a path that connects you up to this area of the shopping district. And then some more path that takes you all the way down here towards Lucid's wool shop. And Lucid's concrete shop. And Mayu's, what is it called? Cave of Treasures. Initially, I had some plans for over here. Since I don't have a door here, I decided it would be kind of weird to have an extension of the building over here. So I'm just going to leave that for now. I might actually finish this off with a tree real quick, just so it doesn't look unfinished, but... Whoa. It's a decent tree. So with that, I think the outside of my shop is officially finished. And now I can switch over to making the inside bright and shiny and full of goods that people might want to buy. And now the store is officially ready for stocking. So down here in the pet food mix and match 1 diamond for 4 stacks section, there's a variety of different pet foods to choose from. So turtles get seagrass, and rabbits get carrots, and the pigs get potatoes. Pigs can eat carrots and beetroot too, but beetroot can get turned into dye, so I don't want it to conflict with my dye shop. Not that red dye is all that rare with everybody's iron farms everywhere, but oh well. And, you know, cats eat fish, and the wolves eat a surprising amount of stuff. They can actually eat a whole bunch of the cooked variants of these foods too, which I'm not going to be selling. And here there's just going to be a whole row of wheat that's going to take a while to stock, and I imagine along with this seed selection, some of these items are more joke items than merchandise I'm actually trying to sell for real. But who knows? Maybe somebody's going to come in here and say, oh, well, I need a stack of seagrass or less than a stack of seagrass, but I don't want to pay an entire diamond for it. So I'm just going to get myself a stack of wheat and maybe some other stuff. That's a scenario I envision happening around here, but who knows? I don't know if it's actually going to happen. I hope this area makes a couple sales, but if it doesn't, I'm just happy to be able to display all of these heads. Which, now that I think about it, it would be kind of weird if your local pet store had stuffed animal heads in the pet store section. So, like, next to the cat food, they just have a whole bunch of stuffed cats. I feel like in real life that would not go over well, but here it works, I think. And if we move over to the dye section, which I haven't stocked at all at the moment, it's actually a dyes and plants mix and match. So price-wise, I'm actually not competitive when it comes to dye only. As far as I know, Maddie's shop is more cost-effective. But I think in this store, it's going to be mostly about the flowers anyway. So the dye is going to be in these barrels, and the flowers are going to be in these shulker boxes. And around here, there's also a couple of completely empty shelves that I have some plans for. There's a pretty good chance that I'll end up rearranging some of this shelving, depending on how I actually end up stocking these areas. But I'm just going to take things one step at a time. Stocking the dyes and plants section is going to take a little while because of how many different flowers exist in the game. So I'll make baby steps in the right direction, and eventually we'll get there. I am walking towards DcDeckard's base. I really like the way he's designed this tunnel. It looks really cool, especially with DC spelled in the very back. But I'm not actually here to go to his base. I am here to go up to his gold farm.
You're gonna climb?
Yeah.
Very nice. Enjoy. I'm gonna fly.
Okay.
I won't bother the stairs.
A huge farm.
Yeah. And then pretty pricey with all the concrete.
It looks like, yeah, your pigmen are still there.
Awesome.
Okay, so storage is down here.
First of all,
okay.
In the storage. You see this section here. I don't know if you want to keep the gold swords. If you want to, you can of course break this block, flick the lever, and that makes sure it's turned off, so then nothing will go through. So literally all the swords you collect will stay in the chest there. And if you flick it on, it will just dispense it into lava, so you can AFK here for 10, 20, 40 hours, whatever you like, until the server kicks you, eventually, I guess, 12 hours. And all the other things are labeled. Then we have pigman heads, dropping through, gold, you can take whatever you want. So that's the storage system. I don't think you want to keep the gold sword. If you want to, there's still some up there that I left in there. I never removed, so if you want those, you can take them. And up here is the farm itself. Careful, don't hit spacebar because you will fall from the ladder. Whenever you're here, first thing to do, always close this trapdoor.
Okay.
Because XP will go through and else drop to the ground, so you don't get XP.
Okay. What is up with the second trapdoor? Okay, so
that's where you stand. That's where you stand. That's officially your standing AFK spot. Look in this chest. There's a arrow and a bow.
Okay, don't use flame or something like that.
No, you will probably one-shot them. That's more the problem.
Okay. Gotcha.
Also, if you go AFK for a long time, I'll always recommend you turn your armor off, put it in the chest below, and just keep your armor there safe and well. Because you never know what happens, of course. But nonetheless, you go up here, you shoot one of the biggiemens, not the ones all the way in the back. You see them standing in a separate section. But just hit one biggieman and they get angry at you and jump to the platform.
Wow.
And there you go. You fly.
I'm stuck.
That looked funny. You're in fly mode there.
So I go up and then I just shoot one of them?
Yep, shoot one of them, and then you go stand on this platform. Okay.
And is there anywhere I'm not supposed to stand?
Don't use the anvils, because these will keep them inside. Don't open the trapdoors. And further, don't stand on the carpet, because they can hit you through the trapdoor. But where you stand there is perfectly safe. So, I would say enjoy. It can take some time for XP to reach you. It can take up 20 minutes almost, and then you get a full bulb of 80 till 90 levels. But that's because of Spidget, it drops, it converts the XP in one big bulb. So, that's so I would say enjoy.
Awesome. Thank you for the tour.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye bye.
I'm doing something that's a bit painful. I'm spending a lot of diamonds in the Black Abyss because I want to completely stock my shop with black dye and stuff, which seems a bit silly. I don't know. The part of my brain that just wants to completely finish the task wants to completely stock the shop with black dye, and the easiest way for me to do that is to spend some diamonds in this shop. And this weekend, There's a special deal going on. 13 diamonds per shulker. I went mining and I happen to have exactly 26 diamonds now, so... Oh, this hurts. This hurts a bit. Now I'm just not gonna look at those diamonds anymore. Oh gosh, that hurt. I'm like shuddering, I guess, is the word. Yeah, I'm shuddering a little bit. But it's done. That should hopefully be enough to stock the rest of this black dye barrel and some of the gray barrel and fill up the shulker box with some wither roses, just because it is technically a plant that's dye related, so I want to have some of that in stock too, even though I'm pretty sure nobody's ever going to buy it from here, because why not buy it directly from the primary source? But who knows? Maybe it's going to be a good deal for somebody, because this is a mix and match store and maybe they only need 3 and they could use some other stuff a lot better. So if you're wondering where the heck I'm at right now and what the heck I'm doing, what I can tell you is that I'm trying to upgrade my flower farm. So you might recognize this place from a past video. To get my shop fully stocked with different kinds of flowers, I've decided to expand it and make it a whole lot longer. And I'm still working out the redstone and all that for it. Whoosh, I'm actually glad that this line is powered by default, because I just noticed that I'm missing a repeater. There we go. I decided to upgrade my single bone meal chest to a double chest so I could have 2 separate hopper lines coming through here, because I have a dispenser line going through here and a dispenser line going through here. And if a single hopper line were to power all of that, there's a higher risk of it not being able to keep up if I run the farm for a really long time. So I've decided to use 2 separate hopper lines. And yes, these dispensers are very close to the edge, so I'm not taking advantage of the maximum impact of each piece of bone meal. But the thing that's scarce on this server is not bone meal. Bone meal is cheap to the point of almost being free. What's scarce here is time. And just sitting here waiting for more flowers to be created by bone meal is time expensive. So I'm going for maximum flower generation. And so if we walk down to where I was working earlier, you can see back here that the hopper lines are getting split up into 2 lines. And then as it moves past a dispenser, another hopper grabs some from the hopper line, sticks it into a dropper. The dropper shoots it up into a different hopper that then shoots it into the dispenser itself. And both the dropper and the dispenser are powered right here using this powered block. And as you can imagine, all of this eats up a whole bunch of iron, but since I have an iron farm, I don't really care that much. So I've finished extending the farm back as far as I want it to go. And on this field, you can see a small representation of the kinds of flowers that I can harvest in this farm. So let's turn this on for like a couple seconds and we'll see what kind of a lag fest it is. I should probably hit F3 for this. So right now, FPS is at 60. And what happens when we turn this on? Look at that. 12, 11, 9. Wow. Let's turn this back off. And FPS should go back up to 60, yes. So this is a giant lag fest when it's turned on. But it's so satisfying to then wander through here and pick up all the flowers. So let's see what we got from running the machine a tiny bit. We got ourselves a whole bunch of tulips, some white tulips, some orange tulips, we did get dandelion! Oh my gosh, this makes me so excited. I thought I was not getting dandelion at all. This just saved me another couple hours of work. Oh my gosh, we get dandelions. Like, you have no idea how excited I am. Like, this is the kind of excited you get out of all the flowers, like, in Minecraft, when you're like, oh my gosh, I saved myself hours of work because a thing worked out, even though I thought it wouldn't. So yeah, so we have Azure Bluette, and we have a bunch of poppy. I wish I could swap the poppies for some more dandelion. Like, that would be ideal, because I have poppies galore thanks to the iron farm. But yeah, this is awesome. So I've built another small flower farm in the world's tiniest swamp. So now I have a very simple swamp flower farm too, and it has 4 dispensers, so I don't waste too much of my time, since, as I mentioned earlier, bone meal is pretty cheap. But yeah, that little bit of time gave me like almost a stack of blue orchids and a whole bunch of seeds that I need to get rid of. I really like this idea of having a composter right here. Just like in real life, houses are never done. But I am going to declare this house done. At least for now. And a whole bunch of stuff is stocked now. So the seagrass chest is full. And then there's raw cod for the dolphin. I'm still working on getting more wheat stocked for all of the different animals that eat wheat. And there's seeds for the parrots. And I still don't have a chicken head, which is slightly irritating, but a chicken head will go here as soon as I have one. I've started adding a whole bunch of flowers. And yeah, and there's room to expand. So as I say here, product range may expand in the future. I'm glad that the shop is now officially open. I don't know if it's going to make any diamonds, but I hope it will. Mayu has said that she's definitely going to be buying some flowers. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, please leave a like. And if you suspect that you might want to watch more of my videos, please hit that subscribe button. Until next time, goodbye.